Hello, everybody. This is Sana. I hope everyone is doing really well. How have you guys been feeling out there right now? I know we still have a lot of people feeling all sorts of ways and experiencing all sorts of different things as well. We've got a lot of physical ascension symptoms going on right now. And, it's interesting because in the last couple weeks or so, I've been getting different photos by different people of these strange sun anomalies. So it'll either be halos around the sun, rainbow halos, dark spots, bright spots, colors in the sky, cloud formations, all of this stuff. And most of it, though, is easy to debunk as the reflection of light on the lens or lens flare. So that is pretty common. If you guys are taking photos of the sun and you are noticing that bright little green dot anywhere on the photo, those are not orbs, you guys. It's not a ship or anything. It is lens flare, and that is pretty common. Most of our devices, if not all of them, will do that depending on the lighting. But then you also have other things that we just cannot explain, like lights and colors in the night sky, or, cloud formation, or just strange anomalies in formations in nature, all of these other things. And so it's all pretty interesting. I will say, though, I've always been one to take photos of the sun as well for many years now. It's something that I do. It's something I've always done. It's a thing of mine. And I've always used the same style of device, the same type of phone. So what I did was I went back to my older galleries and I started to pull up older photos of the sun that I've taken over the last few years. And it really took me by surprise to find that a lot of the sun anomalies appearing in my photos of today are not in any of my photos of the past. And so I started wondering, wait a minute. So same style of phone, same style of photo, same lighting, same time of day. What's going on, And listen, I understand that technology is advancing, of course. I get that. The lenses on our phones are always being upgraded, of course. I understand that. But I also understand that the veil is thinning, okay? And we have a lot going on with the sun right now. Most of our upgrades are coming through the sun at this time. And so of course, our devices are beginning to capture things that they couldn't capture before because, again, the veil is thinning, you guys. So, our little devices are beginning to capture things audiently, like sound, and voices or music or something like that. Even when we aren't around that. Or, visual stuff like formations and orbs. There's a lot of people I've noticed, they've recorded something and sometimes you'll see not just an orb, but you'll see like elementals and like just different little things like that. So it's all very fascinating because as the veil thins, the more we see, and it's validation, and it's like change is happening right before our eyes. So that is so interesting. If you guys have any photo anomalies that you'd like to share, you're more than welcome to send them in because I would love to see them actually, because like I said, all of that is so fascinating to me. And there are so many changes, you guys, happening, like I said, right before our eyes. Every single day is different. And I know a lot of us feel like, same stuff, different day. But that's not the case. I promise you, every single day is different. Every single day is different vibrationally. So it's like we keep escalating. And, what's happening is that the higher we get, the more we begin to see. So a lot of you may notice that you are beginning to see things that maybe you haven't noticed before. For example, you may be driving somewhere or going somewhere, and you may notice, a bush or a flower bush or a mulberry tree or a sign or something out there that wasn't there before, or a building. Or you may begin to notice things about yourself that you've never noticed before. Maybe you are noticing things in your twin, different things like that. Because, the higher we get, the higher we go, the more we begin to feel and see things from a higher perspective, things that maybe we really couldn't see from a lower vibration. So, all of these changes are happening right now, which is why I've mentioned this in the last few videos of this year, is that if you are waking up and you feel like your perception of yourself and your reality is shifting, is because it is. It literally is. One of the things that I've noticed for myself that is, it's pretty amazing and eerie at the same time, is that, so I haven't really been looking at my twins' photos for a while now. I haven't looked at them in a long time. But recently, I went back and I started to look at some of the photos that I do have. And I started to notice little things that I've never noticed before. Something that he was doing with his hands, or something he was wearing, or his posture, or something like little lighting, or just different things like that. And it really takes me back, because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I thought I was awake 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year. But now I'm really, really beginning to see things, and it's almost like little coded messages in some of his photos. And it's just so fascinating to me, you guys, because, we think that we have been awake, or that we are awake now. Just imagine 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, the things that we see, it just keeps getting better and better and better. And so this is so promising in the sense that, our twins really are also beginning to feel and see from a higher perspective, not just our twins, but, other people as well. It's like, a lot of your twins may be saying now, oh, well, now I can see what he or she was talking about. Now I can see where they were coming from. Now I can feel, I'm different. I am different than other people. Why is that? So all of these questions are beginning to come up. And that is part of their awakening. Whatever the outcome is, our twins are waking up. And like I said, there's really no hiding from this. There's no running away from this. The ego may try to, restructure reality, but there's really nowhere for the ego to run. I mean, this is why it's so promising, because the changes are happening, and they are happening now. But anyway, so aside from that, I've been getting that a lot of people have been feeling tired, and there's a reason for that as well. So we are actually doing a lot of integration right now. And so in the past few years, we've been doing a lot of heavy emotional clearing and releasing as a collective. And as a twin flame collective, we've been doing a lot of purging. And that's because the energy that had been coming through in the last few years has been energy that has been helping us to clear and release. But the energy coming through at this time is mostly energy that we are integrating. So anytime we do any type of integration, our bodies do take a toll, because, the DNA within ourselves is becoming activated and rearranging itself. The cells are running differently. The brain is also running differently, using different parts of itself, so there's a lot going on with our bodies, you guys. And so, yes, of course, we are going to feel more tired, and we're going to experience different movements, muscle spasms, dizziness, heart palpitations, heat under our feet, heat on our hands, different things like that. And that is completely normal. Now, I also get that a lot of people are waking up tired. If this happens to be your case, where you've been getting 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 hours of sleep at night and you still wake up feeling tired, that is completely normal as well. Don't worry so much about that, because that's when most of the adapting takes place, is during sleep time. So when we are asleep, that's when most of the energy work happens, most of the integration, because the body is at rest, the mind is at rest, the ego is at rest. There is no interference of any energies. So that is completely normal, especially when we go through periods of heavy integration, which this year happens to be one of those years. So hang in there with that. A lot of people have also been feeling really thirsty. So please drink your water. And now this is also interesting because I've been feeling really thirsty over the last 2 weeks. And what I've been gathering from the higher consciousness of the collective is that everyone going through Ascension right now is going through a detox. So our higher selves are helping us to release some of these toxins that have been embedded from these lower energies that we've been clearing over the last few years. All of those toxins are beginning to exit the body. So please be sure to drink your water, you guys. That is so important. And also, replenish your body not just with water, but also with high vibrational foods. So whole foods. The closer to the earth that the food is, the better. So this means fruits and vegetables, especially greens. Eat lighter foods because the energy coming through right now is so high vibe. It is extremely high vibe. So if we are eating heavy meals every day, a couple times a day, that's only going to make us even more exhausted. So it really comes down to our comforts. I know I'm getting older and I really like my comforts. I appreciate my comforts. So, I don't want to feel sluggish all day, every day. And I'm sure you guys don't either. So, try sticking to lighter foods. And listen, I'm not saying you have to go vegan or you have to go raw or you have to completely change your diet. That's not what the higher selves are saying. But if you are not eating enough vegetables or enough greens or fruits, try to incorporate that into your diet. There's still a lot of people out there who are meat eaters, especially the masculine. They love meat. And so there's people out there that still like fried chicken and pot roast and fajitas, and pork sandwiches and all of this stuff, pasta, And it's not that that's completely bad, but imagine adding heavy meals to your body all the time. That's only going to make you even more tired. And listen, everybody is different, you guys. There's actually a misconception out there in the spiritual community that if we eat meat, that we will not ascend, or if we eat meat, that our abilities will not evolve, or that we will not become activated. That is not true. That is a misconception. If that was the case, half of us would not be ascending, okay? It's just like the Kundalini energy, There are a lot of people, yes, there are a lot of people out there that need to find an exercise modality like yoga to activate the Kundalini. But then on the other hand, you also have those people who have had a spontaneous Kundalini, like myself and like so many of you. And that's because we have been born with these connections within ourselves. And we came here to do this, So, so Kundalini has happened spontaneously for us by the grace of God. And that's because that's part of what we are here to do. So your ascension for so many of you, even if you eat meat, you are still ascending because that's what you came here to do. And like I said, everybody's different. We all have different bodies, different blood types. We actually have people who need to eat meat or else they will get sick. And then we also have those other people who will get sick if they have meat. So it's different for everybody. Just honor what your body is asking you for. I was given one example, okay? This is what they showed me, is that let's just say you have one person who is vegan and eats raw foods. And then you also have, on the other hand, you have a meat eater. But the meat eater performs 100 acts of kindness more a day. Well, does this mean that just because he eats meat that he's at a lower vibration? You see what I mean? That's not necessarily the case here. So where are you in your heart space? What are you doing out there? Are you letting go of karma? Are you performing, good dharma, good karma for others? Because our diet is only a small aspect of what we are doing here. So it all depends. And listen, do not worry so much about that, because we will get to a point where our bodies will just no longer have the same chemistry that it used to with food. We will evolve to that point. But in the meantime, if you need to have meat, you guys, go for it, because there are a lot of people who let go of it cold turkey, and then they feel really sick, or they feel tired or something like that most of the time. And that's because, even what we are here to do, there's a lot of people who are doing gritting work, and they need to have, a heavy meal once in a while to stay grounded. There's people that need to work out, and they need meat. But all right, you guys, enough about that. So yes, if you have been feeling tired, or if you have been feeling, weak, or sometimes like you're dying, because this is what it's feeling like right now. It feels like you're literally dying. And it's not necessarily that you may be sick, but the energy of it feels like, parts of you are just falling apart, or you feel like you're about to fall apart. All of that is that stuff being released from you, and your body restructuring itself, You are beginning to integrate your light structure in a carbon-based body, and that's not an easy thing to do. So hang in there, you guys, because we will adapt more and more. Also, too, if you have been feeling the heart palpitations even more so, that's, again, very common. What happens is that the higher we get, the more love we begin to feel. The ruling and highest frequency of the universe is love and grace. And so the higher we go, the more love we're going to feel. And sometimes our little human chakras cannot handle the energy sometimes, and we really have to hold ourselves down a little bit. So all of that is pretty common. Now, I do want to say something about twins, because this has been coming through a lot, that a lot of twins, we still have a lot of twins in the Twin Flame Collective, especially those who have been awake for a little while. I'm not referring to the newly awakened twins, but a lot of twins who have been awakened now for a few years are still not surrendering. They are still not trusting as we should. And we are doing a good job, moving forward and getting this done. But there are still a lot of people, a lot of twins, rather, that are still in fear, who haven't surrendered as much, and who are still trying to control the situation and the dynamic from an ego standpoint. So it is so important, you guys, and what we are being asked is to surrender it. Surrender, let go of the control, and recognize that our human selves, our egos are not in control of this journey. The higher self is. The higher self, at the end of the day, has the last say. So yeah, it's we really are being guided by our higher selves. So try connecting more to your higher selves, surrender it, let go of fear, because if you want to unroot yourself from the matrix, you have to let go of all of these things. You have to let go of fear, resentment, unforgiveness, and you have to trust. But fear is the lowest frequency in the universe and on this planet. It's the lowest frequency, and you do not want to reside in fear. And I understand, you guys, because when I came into the Twin Flame community, I actually came in during a time when there was a lot of fear going around. Someone planted a seed of fear, and it spread like wildfire. And I understand, because, think about it. As a newly awakened twin, we come in here and we see other people that have been around for a while talking about attacks on unions and attacks on our twins and on, karmics being evil and all of this stuff. What are we going to think, right? So it's understandable, but it's something that we do not want to hold on to and be part of. You don't want to be part of that fear cluster, because I've literally been hit over the head for about a year and a half or more about all of this not being true. It's all an illusion. I mean, no twins are getting attacked on a soul level. I mean, yeah, things happen in the 3D, but a lot of twins confuse going through a bad purge with being attacked. And that's what you guys are being told. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case. It's definitely not the case. We are extremely protected, very protected. Especially right now, you guys, in the 3D. Like I said, I'm not saying the dark energies are not real, right? But you do not want to give your power away. And at this time, we've actually ascended enough to a certain point where we've integrated a lot of our light structure, light bodies. Our light bodies have expanded. So in the same way that we will not make it in a room full of smoke, that's the exact same reaction that the dark energies get when they try to penetrate our fields. They suffocate. They can't make it. So they cannot hold on. And so it's so hard to have an attachment right now. It's very, very difficult for someone going through ascension who has expanded their light bodies to have an attachment for so long. It's extremely rare. It's very, very rare. So yeah, like I said, no one is being attacked on a soul level. Nothing can happen to us. We are definitely protected. And if we go through a bad purge, just feel it out and go through it. And listen, if you guys were, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if there was any of you who did have an attachment before, I guarantee you that after you met your twin, all of that started to fall off. So if you are going through that right now, just go with it. Go with it and know that you are okay and that you are protected. That's all I want to say, is that we are protected. I have so many stories, you guys, of people that maybe haven't liked me in the past, and they've tried to throw a dart of negativity at me, and nothing works. It never works. It's like, that's like karma on their end, and it comes back tenfold. It always does. And that's because we are protected. Everybody is protected. So don't worry about yourselves. Worry about people who haven't been awakened, who are still out there, not activated yet. Worry about those people, be the light to those other people, but never give your power away, period. Anyway, so I wanted to also mention really quickly that I am going to be putting together a video about the event, because I have been getting a lot of questions about this, and so I want to answer some of it the best that I can, of course, from what I've been shown and from what I know and all that stuff. But one of the most frequently asked questions that I have received is that people are wondering, what is the event and why isn't it happening? Why are people getting certain dates and then nothing happens? But what I've noticed, you guys, is that us light workers, we are understanding the same thing, but explaining it differently. And that's okay. We all have our different ways of looking at things, but we're all basically expressing the same thing, okay? But what I will say, though, is that I personally do not resonate with the event happening in a bang. I just cannot resonate with that, even if I try to, and I'll tell you why. So what I've been shown in this incarnation and through regression and through dreams and through downloads is that everything we've ever done as a universal team is that everything we've ever accomplished has been done so by method, strategy, and procedure. Everything we've done has a process because the universe functions on energy, vibration, and frequency. Okay, so that's the law of the universe. That's the law of the motion of the universe. So if our bodies have not adapted enough to this 5D new earth frequency, how would we make the jump, right? We couldn't. We would burn out, literally, Our bodies couldn't handle the change in frequency. So this is why I say I don't resonate with the event happening by a certain date, because our bodies couldn't make it. For those of you that follow the Bible, there is a quote in scripture that talks about how us as humans, we could not stand before the face of God, or else we would burn out. We would die. And that is a very true statement, because the change in frequency is so grand that our carbon-based bodies could not handle the frequency of Source Creator. It is so pure. It is so high that we would literally explode, you guys. We literally would. And so this is the case with transitioning into the new earth, is that we are not fully adapted yet. But what's interesting is that, and this is what makes it so exciting, that it's happening now. It's here now. So the event is Ascension, okay? So all of these videos that you guys watch about shifts and lunar cycles and planetary alignments and all of these energies coming through, that is the event. We're not waiting for it. We are in the middle of the show. It's happening now. This has been going on for a while now, since 2000. Some people say 2003, which I resonate with that, because that's when I started to notice all of these physical changes within myself. Was late 2003 to early 2004 is when I became activated. And so it's been happening, but it's been a process, because we have to adapt. And so what I feel happening is that once the planet has adapted enough from within, and once we on the planet have adapted enough as well, we will have enough energy to facilitate the transition into the new earth, into the 5D. So yes, it is going to be a physical transition where we will make it. And so something else that I want to also say here is that a lot of people that are getting dates, either in dream time or as a download or in regression or in hypnosis, those dates are not to be taken lightly, because those are very significant dates, you guys. They really are. Now, when people talk about how the event is going to happen by a certain date, that may be a very significant date for them. It may be when they will be activating a certain aspect of the new earth within them at that time. It may be a shift in their reality. But you have to really understand that it's different for everybody. We're all on different dates. Now, when people describe it as, a purple light or a rainbow light or a honey light, all of this stuff. Listen, we are still in 3D bodies. A lot of us cannot see through the veil just yet. But if there was no veil, oh my goodness, the things that you would see would be out of this world. What's literally happening across the veil, you guys, there is all of these, lights and symbols and crystal light, like all of these things happening. So yeah, that is very true. What they are describing is the higher self describing exactly what is going on, but our eyes, okay, our retinas cannot really pick up on that, but it's happening. So it's really, really exciting what's happening right now. And so these shifts are not to be taken lightly. I was also made aware too of very, very significant shift coming up in August, on August 8th and on the 18th as well. So those are going to be extremely, extremely significant shifts by that time, with the new Earth frequency coming through at that time. So make sure that whatever you guys are doing, that you are releasing karma. Okay, get out of the wheel of karma. If you have a disagreement with your twin, with your family, do not continue it. Let it go. Forgive them, release them, and let it go. Okay, you do not want to come back. Okay, you just want to transition, and that's it. But you don't want to be stuck in the wheel of karma at all. Also, to forgive. Okay, let go of the resentment the best that you can. Forgiveness is a really big deal, because when we do not forgive, guess what that is? That's karma. You don't want that. Also, let go of fear. Fear is going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you stuck. So you want to release all fear. And then, surrender. Surrender it all. Look at yourselves as pretty much an avatar. Like, we are here, but we are not of here. So that's what's happening. And then also too, you guys, transcend time and space. Time doesn't exist. So for those of you that have been waiting for your twins for such a long time does not exist. So there's no difference between, 1980 and now. I mean, energetically, yes, but what I'm saying is that time doesn't exist. So yes, anyway, hang in there. I love all of you. For those of you that are new to this channel, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much, you guys, for subscribing. For those of you who are newly awakened, or for anybody that would like a session, reach out. If you want to know where you're at, what's going on, reach out to me and we will work something out. And I look forward to connecting with you guys, and I love all of you. Until next time, bye everybody.